Mr. Kharge, if these numbers hold, it's a big if. Will you see this as a victory for a localized model, a hyper-localized model where you focus on local issues rather than making an election, a national referendum on leadership and attacking Mr. Modi? You attacked Mr. Modi and it seemed to recoil. Your father attacked him, but most of your other leaders only focused on local issues.
Well, I partially agree with you. We had kept the narrative extremely local or hyper local, as you call it. We made the narratives that are made for the Kannadigas. We had the Karnataka pride being played out extremely well, and that credit goes to actually BJP. They came in and kept insulting Kannadigas time and again. And we just took it up from there. And more importantly, like how Rahul was saying, the government had a great branding by itself, the PCM, the 40% Sarkara. These are the brands that we did not come up with. These are the brands that the people came up with, the Contractors Association came up with, the RUPSA Association came up with. And we just took it to the next level. So we were a step ahead when it came to narrative building.
So you agree,
we were a step ahead when it came to better preparing.
So you agree that even if you win, and as I keep reiterating, it's a big if, this template may not hold for a general election next year. You'll have to change the template. This works for state elections.
See, like I said, it does. Again, I agree with you partially. The road to Delhi is by winning states. We need to win as many states as possible to get to 2024. So Karnataka is a big step for us, and the surveys are indicative. And I'm sure that we will cross the 130 mark. But as you know, in Karnataka, we have just one MP, and the only way we have is up. So we have hit the rock bottom here, and I'm sure we can get to at least 15 to 18 in 2024.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Kharge, for joining us. I want to go across to Yogendra Yadav. He's always got a very sharp and incisive take on the data. When we had you once on the political stock exchange, I remember this is kind of what you were suggesting towards the higher end of our range. Of all of what we've shown our viewers so far, what's your analysis? What are you picking up from these numbers? Because you tend to read more from the numbers than most people can.
Rahul, for some reason, it's been a flood of exit polls this evening. On last count, I saw 10 exit polls. Of them, 8 show Congress to be ahead. 2 opinion polls, actually, 2 exit polls actually stay BJP ahead. In terms of, if we look at averages, most exit polls are saying Congress ahead, but only marginally, somewhere there around the midpoint, just around the majority mark. Your poll seems to be an outlier because it says that Congress is winning big. Outlier doesn't mean it's wrong. I personally think that your outlier poll is actually accurate. Now, I'm nobody to pass judgments on exit polls. After everyone has done their figures, but there are 2 or 3 things which make me take your poll more seriously. I've just also said on social media that I take the India Today one more seriously this time for 2 or 3 reasons. One is that in the recent past, the Access My India poll has had a decent track record. You've made more than one outlier predictions, which have proven to be right. So I would take that seriously. Second, the internal breakup that I'm looking at in terms of regions, and we've provided breakup in terms of gender, in terms of communities, that tends to make sense. And third, I must confess that it is somewhat in tune with what I saw on the ground. Look, it's an exit poll, and nothing that I say is going to influence even one voter. So there's no point in taking sides now. I'm not an independent analyst. I'm a political activist, but I do realize that this is not the moment to eat for.
No, so what would be that one factor, Yogendra Yadav, that you saw on the ground that you believe makes a difference from 2019, where the BJP swept the elections in Karnataka, to 2023, where it appears the Congress has the edge?
Rasdeep, I personally thought that this election was not decided in the last 2 weeks, if the India Today figures are correct, and I think they are correct. I personally, incidentally, I should just put on record that I do not rule out the possibility of Congress doing even better than your upper edge. But that's just a possibility. What has changed? To my mind, first of all, credit should be given where it's due, namely the Mumbai government. It's such an incompetent government which enjoys such poor credibility with the people. I traveled, so did you. I did not meet one BJP supporter, BJP voter, who is willing to defend the track record of Mumbai government. You talk to BJP voters about Mumbai government, and they will tell you Modi. So they are not.
Okay.
Secondly, in the fourth election, Congress did two smart ones. Congress managed to put up a show of political unity, which is very important. And for once in this election, BJP seems united, Congress seems united. And second, in terms of its overall message and communication, Congress was quite clear. This 5 guarantees thing was clearly targeted at the poor voters, who are actually principally Congress's voters.